There's so much of our experiences where we've had the lights off. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we've literally been over here because we're over here worrying about, do they think this? Do I smell? Is it body? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Because we've been dealing with really emotionally immature people. And also trying to prove our worth in the bed. And also trying to appease people's egos, not recognizing that the reason why you're not feeling shit and the reason why it doesn't feel good is because you don't have an emotional connection, but you know that you don't want to let someone down. So, oh my God, I'm all right. Stop. Oh my God. Oh, it's getting closer. I'm really getting tired of this shit. And actually, it's hurting because your bitch is drying up. It's getting closer. Yeah, I'm drying up, bitch. Yeah, hurry up. Let me do the one thing. Let me throw the leg over because I'm over with this. You lasting a little too long today. Okay? Because it's drying up and I'm over here. I'm trying to play a role over here with you over here trying to be long for me. And I don't want you to be long. I actually like when it's shorter because I'm not getting anything from this. I don't feel shit. So if you really hurt the fuck up, I don't know if you've been practicing. Did you just do something before this? I told your ass. Don't be doing stuff before you do me, okay? I don't like that shit. I like to be the first one. You do that shit after me, because now I'm over here. It's extra, and I'm tired, okay? It's hurting. So don't be doing it before me, okay? You let me be the first one. I don't care if it's 2 seconds. That's what lions do. Lions is, did you see that? Have you ever seen the lion? The lion just goes, wow. And that's because, here, get this. We just trying to do it. Get this real quick. Let me go do it, because you ain't doing shit. I'm the one after this. You gonna fall out, because you did one, and I'm going to be the one getting the food. That's what the lioness said. Hurry up. Come get this real quick. Here you go. Hurry up. Anyway, do you think women's body can start rejecting? Yes, absolutely. Yes. We can reject a man after 10 minutes. You can reject anyone. It don't have to take 10 years to hit. You can reject them real quick once you wake up. Once you wake up and saying, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, you can start waking up. Why am I just... this is just what's in it for me. That's what I started saying. I'm not getting none of that. And I was abandoning myself every time that I was playing a role. Oh my God, yeah. Wow, oh my God, so good. I felt ridiculous. I'm like, do they know that I'm not, this is, and then I was like, and then it became the norm, and then it made me depressed, because then I was like, I guess this is just going to be my experience. I'm never going to actually feel nothing. Until I discovered cannabis, and because the whole time I had never been the drinker. I didn't know that all my friends in high school, the reason why they were having all these crazy experiences, not everyone, was because alcohol was involved. And I didn't drink. I didn't know how much they lower the inhibition and get into, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just blew my mind. I'm high right now. I love that, James. Hey. And so I didn't know. So then I'm a late bloomer when it came to like drinking and substances. So then when I moved to California, that's when I started my whole 420 journey. And so then when I got my partner during that time, the thing that was different between me and all the other partners was that I partake. So then that first time, it was actually on 420. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. But that first time and this is back in the day when I first started my journey. So, you know, like when you actually get really high, you know, back in the day where like one blunt, you used to have an edible and be like in a different fucking reality. You know, when back in the day when you first started the journey, and I'm like, damn, I miss that shit. That's why you got to do tolerance breaks. Because I was like, I miss when a 10-gram edible used to make me be like I took some hard shit. I used to I was like, and now I'm just like, this is not doing anything. But anyway, back in the day, 420, it was like, okay, I'm going to take these little things. And this was like the one time that I had a partner during this time. So I was like, okay, I have a partner. All right. So yeah, let me try doing this. All of a sudden, we just start kissing. And I'm like, why does it feel so different? How come I don't give a fuck? I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Just do my own thing. And I feel like he was just like, damn, who is it? I was just like, woo! And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, wait. Oh, shit. Wait, what the fuck? I'm feeling something. Wait, this is some real shit. Wait, it's actually real. Hold on. And then I was like, this is crazy. And I didn't know that that's when I realized, oh, I'm not physically broken. It's emotional. I'm in my head too much, and I can't feel if I need to be present. I'm not present, and it made me be present. And so then y'all already know what happened. I had a little moment. I had a moment, especially because it was 2020 and we were all at home. It was like God knew exactly. Let me do this because now y'all ain't gonna be at work, and you and them guys, y'all gonna be shacking up, and now you just discovered the devil lettuce and the thing, and so now you're doing it. And so 2020, it was a lot of things were happening for me. And that's when I recognized stuff. And so then, yeah, I was like, oh, I like this now. But now I'm like, okay, but now I know that I'm building a belief that now I have to have cannabis. So now I'm trying to break that and realize maybe I just actually need to be attracted emotionally to the partner for once. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to actually be with somebody who's emotionally available now. That, and then I won't need, So it's levels. But the cannabis, the 420 goes crazy for awakening. I know, it does. It does. It really helped me. Like, I owe it. For real, because your girl was walking around depressed as fuck, like I'm just broken, and I was like, damn, I'm never gonna be able to experience this. Like, I want to experience this. Why? And I want to feel these things. Like, I don't want to, and this made me resent it. Like, I don't want to just do it for you. Hi, Cynthia, I love you. Hi, Mecca. So when I was able to get there, I was like, oh, this is an emotional thing. It was kind of like the episode where Charlotte thought Trey was impotent. Remember when Trey couldn't do it? And so she was freaking out. And so then they told her to put the stamps around his thing. And then if it was broken in the morning, that it was emotional. And then she put the stamps. Do you guys know that episode of Sex and the City where Charlotte, she was worried that Trey couldn't get it up, because she was trying to prove something. And then she didn't do nothing before they got married. And she didn't know that her new future husband has something was happening because she was trying to prove something. And then he couldn't get it up. And then she wanted to know if it was emotional. Yeah. Oh, I love that, James. Yeah, it's so emotional. It's so emotional. And I realize it's because the 99% of the men that I was allowing, giving myself to, I didn't feel safe with. I didn't feel safe, and I knew that they didn't give a damn about me. I knew that it was just like a transaction, and we're just doing this, and it's just like a role, and I'm just trying to fit into society. I'm not really empowered in my sexuality at this point. So yeah, it's just easy for me to just lay there like a little bored and everything. But really, I'm very sensual. Really, with the right person, with safety, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like, wait, I am like this. I'm not just this like vanilla person that I've told myself that I am. I'm actually very, very sensual. I have a Scorpio. My Venus is in Scorpio, if that tells you anything from my astrology baddies. My Venus is in a Scorpio. So yeah, people will be like, this is like two different energies when I meet somebody and I'm like, hi, and we meet at first. Then when I get to know you and I'm like, oh, okay. Then they get a different side of me, and I like it. When it's happening, I'm like, wait, who is this? I love this. So now I am working on healing that part of myself, and like, how do I channel this without anybody? I don't want to need somebody to have permission to bring these parts of me out. So this is why I've just been working on this, and the music, and just really doing things for me and getting dressed up for me. Healing Hump Wednesdays, yeah. So let's see. Okay, here's another one. Look, you see how I was supposed to pick another one like a while ago, and then here we go. I got to keep track of the time. Okay. All right. All right, page 18 and 19. Page 18. You abandon yourself to try and prevent being abandoned by others. You abandon yourself to try and prevent being abandoned by others. So how do we abandon ourselves? How do we abandon ourselves? We abandon ourselves by not setting boundaries and trying to be cool and go with the flow. That is you abandoning yourself and then getting mad when the person does something that triggers you, but you didn't say that it triggers you because you were worried about keeping the connection than letting them know, hey, this is not okay with me. You thought that if you were vocal with them about something not being okay, that maybe they wouldn't choose you. But why do you want to be chosen by somebody who does things that hurt you? So you got to give them an opportunity to know, okay, this is something that hurts you. Now you can see how they're going to move. After you've articulated it, hey, I just want to be honest with you. I have, I'm working through these insecurities, and this is something that is a boundary for me. If they keep crossing that boundary after you have been very direct, then it makes it a lot easier. If you're just honest with the person from jump, then the intentions and everything just is a lot easier. Where shit gets confusing is because you're not telling them this and you're wanting them to read your mind, and then they're doing things that's triggering you, and then you're not telling them that it's triggering you, and then you're just reacting to the trigger. So then they're thinking that you're just going fucking crazy because why did you just fly off the couch? We were just watching a movie, and then because I grabbed my phone for a second. You just flew off the couch. And it's not because I just grabbed my phone in this second. It's because you're really insecure because you saw something on my phone last week and you didn't say something to me about it. So now every time I grab my phone, you associate it with whatever you thought I was doing instead of just being direct. So you're living in this own anxious hell in the relationship. And now every time I grab my phone, you associate it with me cheating on you because you saw something. You see how that can make your relationship really fucking, like, how many times is your partner going to grab their phone? That's going to trigger you all day. For why? For what? Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you put yourself through that? Just speak up. Hey, you had your phone out and I noticed someone, I noticed someone or a picture, or I noticed this. And I just saw it. I wasn't going through your phone, and I just need to let you know that does not make me comfortable. I need you to hear me right now. I need you to hear me very directly that having these type of pictures or having the conversation that I just saw is not something that I'm okay with. It doesn't make me feel safe. It doesn't make me feel respected. So is this how you move? Did I see this for a reason? These are the conversations instead of looking at it and then let me try to find something else and let me try to catch them in. No. Be direct. You're setting yourself up. Okay? Be direct. Stop trying to gain somebody's approval and get chosen by somebody who it's not even the right person. You're over here trying to be chosen by someone who may be not the most loyal person. But here you are having chaos within so that someone who's not even loyal will choose you. I want you to say it out loud so that you can hear it. I need you to say it out loud so that you can hear it. Okay? Okay. Let's see what page 19. You grew up with caretakers. You're right, Rosa, too. I heard you. I saw you earlier. You're right. That's what our parents did. You grew up with caretakers who refused to take accountability for their behaviors. Now you find it hard to hold yourself accountable as well. See the pattern here? You grew up with caretakers who refused to take accountability for their behaviors. Now you find it hard to hold yourself accountable as well. See the pattern here? So those of you that literally want to just just scream at the top of your lungs versus just saying, hey, I was wrong. If those of you that find it very hard to say I was wrong, there's a reason for that. It's because you never heard that from that narcissistic parent. Every single time you try to bring up something, they found a reason to gaslight you. They found a way to invalidate you. And guess what? You've done that to people before too. Even if it wasn't in your intention, you used the opportunity when someone came to you. Let me give you a scenario that a lot of you have, it's happened. I'm going to show you how you've gaslit. One of your friends came to you that you already had a lot of animosity towards. You didn't say anything because you were just keeping the peace. But this friend always annoyed you with certain things that they would do and say, and it just really, but you're keeping the peace. Well, then one day that same friend decides that they want to call you out on something. That friend decides that there's something that you did that really bothers them, and they feel empowered enough to let you know. Well, what does that do to you? That makes you furious because you've been giving them these passes all this time and you haven't called out when they did this and you didn't say anything when they did that. So then you use this very opportunity because you feel threatened, because you feel shame, because it's hard for you to hold yourself accountable for things. You use this exact scenario or situation, or you use this exact moment to let them know how they did all these things too. Well, you did this and you did that. And then you don't see how that's the very thing that your parents did to you. And why did you use that opportunity when they came to you to talk about you to then flip it around and talk about them? It's because it's called deflection. And it's a narcissistic tactic that you learned from your parent. You want to deflect from yourself and then bring in, and then all of a sudden your friend is apologizing to you when they came to you about something that you did wrong for them. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I'm sorry. And all of a sudden now, you turned it so quick, and you're a master manipulator and you didn't even realize it. And the more you become aware on this journey, the more it eats you up, and you start to recognize that you did the same thing that dad did. You did the same thing that mom did. You learned from the fucking coach. but it's not who you are, but that's how you learn how to deal with things. So you learned, okay, when someone tries to hold me accountable, I deflect. When someone tries to hold me accountable, I invalidate. You learn that. And you do it subconsciously. And then you tell yourself that you're right. You tell yourself the story that you're right and they shouldn't have did it. And I'm right and they shouldn't have did it. And you tell yourself this story over and over so that you don't have to hold yourself accountable. That's what narcissists, that's what people who are unaware, that's what they do. They tell themselves a story over and over and how that person was wrong. Well, when you have your awakening, it no longer hits the same. You can't do it the same no more. And that's what happened to me. I'm telling you an exact story of what happened to me 2 years ago with a friend. You thought it was just some random story? No, I was telling you an exact same story. And so guess what I had to do? 2 years after that happened, I had to pick up the phone. We were in no contact. We weren't talking. We had a whole falling out because I did that and I had to own it. Even though there was some things that I was upset about, it was not okay for me to invalidate her feelings in that moment. It was not okay for me to gaslight her. It was not okay. It was not okay. And so it bothered me because I tried for 2 years to talk myself into why that was okay. But the more and more that I was talking to you guys and healing, I was like, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. And it bothered me and it ate me up. And so what did I have to do? I pick up the phone and I had to send a message. Hey, I know we haven't talked in 2 years, but I just want to let you know that I'm sorry for invalidating you when you came to me for that. That was not the time for me to bring up all these things. If I had these issues with you, I should have brought them up on my own and not used you trying to, take up the space to take up the space. And so I'm sorry that I gaslit you and that I invalidated your feelings in that moment. That is not something that I'm proud of. That's not who I am. And I'm not that same person. And that was it. And my inner child felt really shitty. My inner child felt a lot of shame. My inner child felt abandoned still because I was already, I felt abandoned in that relationship when we stopped talking. All these things. And my inner child was feeling it. And I said, nope, it's okay. You can feel it. But what do you need? Let's go get a piece of pizza. Let's just go ice cream because I am so proud of you from doing something that dad could never do. I am so proud of you for owning your shit and saying sorry. Because how are we going to hold dad accountable? How are we going to talk all this shit about dad and dad can't do this and dad can't do that? And you did it. You did the same thing. When someone tried to come to you about some pain, you invalidated them and you sent them away. And you didn't hear them out. And you know how fucking painful that is when dad does that to you. You know how painful that is. So that's where the shame comes from because I'm a kind person. But I also, in that moment, recognize that the duality exists in me. Yes, I am light and I do recognize my light more than my darkness now. And I identify with my light more than my darkness, but I am still capable of the darkness. I am still capable. The duality lives within me and it always will. I just am getting better at making conscious choices to live more in my light and make decisions from a place of consciousness than a place of fear. That's all. But the spectrum, it's in with all of us. So that's when I had to recognize, okay, I just got to give myself grace that I'm not this perfect person that I'm trying to paint myself as. I have the capability of hurting people. I have the capability of lying. I have the capability of manipulating people. I have the capability of doing all these badass things that I. So why am I putting myself on this pedestal as far as I'm equal to everybody? I'm not on a fucking pedestal. All right. Well, a couple more and then I got to head out because my 94-year-old grandfather came down from, he lives 45 minutes from my mom and my mom is hosting my grandfather right now. And it's just so beautiful to see them healing now because of the healing that me and my mom did. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but you just have to know that these conversations that you have, the courage to say, hey, I got to speak up, it's a ripple effect. And now my grandfather is coming over for breakfast and having conversations with my mom about his childhood. My 94-year-old grandfather who has always been about money, business. I've never seen him show any emotion. I've never had a conversation about other than it's just grandfather. My grandfather he marched with Martin Luther King. He's had a lot of trauma, but he don't have time for this. My 94-year-old grandfather talking about how his dad was mean. Yeah, my yeah, your great grandfather was really mean and really mean. And then what really was the kicker, my aunt, because, my aunt is still healing too. She's still, she's like healing. And so she was trying to like invalidate it, not in a bad way, but she's like, oh, I'm sure he didn't mean to be mean, Daddy. Like my aunt's talking to my grandfather. Oh, Daddy, I'm sure he didn't mean to be mean. No. And my grandfather said, no, he knew he knew that he was being that. And I said, not my 94-year-old saying you not about to invalidate my inner child I said, and I'm so glad, because I was like, no, Auntie, this is not the time to try to say, no, grandfather didn't mean it. This is huge, and you guys can't see it because you're still asleep, but I see it. This is huge that our 94-year-old grandfather is validating something from fucking 90 years ago. That is proof that it doesn't go away, and that no matter how aloof we thought he was all these years, no, he has shit. He feels. And you know why? It's because 5 months ago, my grandfather had a stroke. 5 months ago, my grandfather had a near-death experience, and it had an awakening. So don't tell me that we're too old. Don't tell me that, oh, we're far past it. No. That near-death experience, that my grandfather being helicoptered, that scared the fuck that. And now he's been crying ever since. He's been so emotional ever since that. And I know that that's why. He almost was there for a second. And then he said, wait, I'm not ready yet. There's some things I still need to work out. And then God was like, all right, well, go ahead and handle it, brah, because you're 94. So now he's getting in the tears, and now he's saying certain things, and he's giving more hugs. 94. So don't tell me that your story doesn't matter. Don't tell me that what you have to say doesn't matter. And I know that I got the ball rolling in 2021 when I came home and I was like, yo, Mom, I got to talk to you. The fact that you never say I love you, that shit hurts. I know that you buy me the clothes, and I know that I got food on the table, but Mom, I need to hear this shit sometimes. Damn. I need to hear these words. You're just like Granddaddy. This is the same way. And now that I finally said that, she's clicking, and now she's like noticing how Granddaddy used to do the same thing with her. And now she's like, oh, damn, because my daughter made me aware of it. Well, now I'm wondering why I'm like this. And so now it's making me reflect that I'm like this because I didn't hear it from you, Dad. And I want you to know that it hurts me. So now guess what? My granddaddy, I love you. I love you. 94. We are healing. We're healing. And if I had to be the person to shake shit up, then so be it. I wear this shit with a badge of honor now. I wear it. Being the black sheep like a badge. I love being the black sheep now. I used to feel so outside. I used to feel like I didn't belong to my family. Now, I feel the most connected to them that I've ever felt in my entire life. And it's because I was brave enough to get uncomfortable. I was brave enough to say, nah, I see this and I see that. And I'm done pretending like I don't see this shit. I'm done pretending like I don't see the insecurities. I'm done pretending like I don't see that this intimidation and this behavior is really a mask for deep insecurity. You're insecure. Talk about it. I love you. If you can't talk about it with me, who the hell can you talk about it with? I'm your daughter. I love you. Tell me about it. Talk to me about it, because we don't deserve this anger. We don't deserve these parts of you. We deserve the happy parts of you too. I want to see you smiling. I want to see you happy for once. Damn. I want to see my mother being loved correctly for once by a man. I want to see you being in love. I want to see you truly happy. So I got to tell you some things, and I got to tell you how dad wasn't wrong and everything. And I got to tell you how you contributed to this stuff. And I got to tell you how, there was some stuff that was true. It wasn't just all dad. I got to tell you, and I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm telling you because I love you. And I know that you're going to continue to repeat these patterns with men unless I bring it to your awareness. Your lack of emotional availability is why you keep meeting these men who are emotionally unavailable. So until you get open with yourself, Mom, you're going to continue to attract people that don't really see you because you don't see yourself. And at 70, you still don't see yourself. But you're still here and you're still available for love. And just because you're 73 does not mean that you can't fall wildly in love with somebody right now. But I first need you to fall in love with yourself. And stop saying that it's over. Your dad is 94, which means you could have 20 more years left. You could have 20 more years. That's a whole nother marriage that you could have. Being in love. But you're over here just waiting to die. These are the conversations that I have with my mom every single day. Every other day I'm having these conversations and these pep talks until she steps the fuck in, and that's it. I don't care because my mom is smart. She is capable. She is young at heart. She's 73, but people think she's 53. And it's because she has a young spirit and God is not done using her. And God is using me as the messenger because I'm the closest to her, to remind her every day that God is not done using you. And this is why you feel so anxious, because you know that you have more purpose and you're not stepping the fuck in. That's why. And I tell her this. It's not anything. It's because your testimony still needs to be heard. I don't care that you're starting. Write the book. I don't care that you're 74. What does that have to do with anything? Are you still able to write? Can you still remember? Can you still formulate thoughts? Do you have the time? Then write the fucking book. All I'm hearing is excuses. All I'm hearing is ageism. Write the fucking book. That's what I tell my mom every day. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing else about anything. All right? Until you're asking me how I did it and how I published it, I don't want to hear shit. Until you're asking me, hey, can you sit with me and go over the process because I'm ready to write my book, I don't want to hear nothing. All right, y'all. On that note, I'm about to go to my mama's house right now so she can cook me some grits and some eggs and some sausage and some bacon and some biscuits, because I know that she's cooking a really beautiful breakfast, because my granddaddy especially. And it's just really beautiful to see my mom taking care of her dad and really not giving up on him and really advocating for him. He loves it. You can tell that, like, he looks to her because he knows she's the most emotionally open from all the other siblings. So he literally goes to my mom like, I need help. I'm feeling this. And he knows that my mom will sit and be tender with him. And I'm like, Mom, you were not always tender like this. You know this, right? You were not like this. Look how much healing you've done. Granddaddy's getting parts of you that I didn't get as a child. But now my mom is going in overdrive and being the mother that she wasn't when I was younger. And so now I can tell she's like, hello, baby. How you doing? All the pet stuff, all the words of affirmation, the hugs, I can tell. And it still makes her a little nervous, especially the hugs and the touching. My mom has a really weird about touching. She just is weird. So, but even the hugs, now she's giving me hugs. And usually I'll try to pull away really quick because I know that my mom has a weird thing about touching. So I don't want to make her uncomfortable. But she's known, like, you just lost your father. I know you need a longer hug. Let me hug my baby. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. Did you eat today? Do you want to come over and get some meal? I made your favorite meal. Thanks, Mom. This is what I needed instead of you telling me to get the fuck out of bed and get out of bed and get out. This is what I needed you to do when I was younger. And like, damn, can I just lay down? Because my mom, just before I go, my mom, she was like, come stay over here for a little bit. Come stay at my house so you're not alone. So I was staying at her house and she was going to the grocery store and getting stuff to cook. And I tell you guys, I was sleeping and I was sad. I was grieving. I'm sad, and I'm just hurting. And then when I hear the garage open up, can I tell you guys, I flew out of the bed and started washing the dishes. You guys, it was like all of a sudden my inner teen, because I was at my mom's sleeping. It was like I was like deja vu. It was like some weird ass shit. But when I heard the garage open, I flew out of the bed and I started washing the dishes. I opened the dishwasher and was just doing this. And my mom comes in. She said, what are you doing? I thought you were sleeping. Go to sleep. You don't got to. And I said, oh, I know, but it's like 1 o'clock. I just been in the bed all day. And she was just like, I got this, go. And she took the dish out of my hand and I just started crying. And I was like, Mom, you're healing so much. I realized I have PTSD. I thought I needed, and I didn't take the chicken out. And I was like, I forgot to take the chicken out. And she's like, what chicken? I didn't even tell you. I was like, I forgot to take the chicken out. It's still frozen. And she said, what chicken? I didn't even tell you to take any chicken out. And I said, oh, okay, I'm going to lay back down. She's like, yeah, you need to lay back down. There's something going on. Those of you that know, you know. Those of you that get it. It was a metaphorical chicken, and I forgot it. And I was scared. I know. And forgetting to record her stories. That was another way to just get your block knocked off. Forgetting to record her stories. When I realized that I forgot to hit the Tebow thing, or whatever, when it started. So, Mom, I would try to think about something. I was cooking during the time that The Young and the Restless came on, and then there was a fire almost started, and that's why I forgot to press the play. It had to be something catastrophic, bitch. There was a fire in here. So it was either record your stories or let the house burn down, and I just thought that you would be more upset if the house burned down. So that's why I didn't record it. All right. Why do we have to go through this? We're all laughing, but this is really traumatized. Why are we traumatized? And then I'm wondering why I got anxiety. I love y'all. I love you guys. You're so kind. I love you guys. Yo, I'm just over here speaking from these experiences. And also, before I go, look, I just said this. I also love how it's trending. I grew up with a naked mom, because I'll get into that later. But growing up with a naked mom, okay? Having my company have to stop at the door. Hold on. Let me see real quick. Mom, my friend is over. Okay, this is my damn house. Yeah, so I grew up with that too. We'll get into that later. But yeah, I grew up with a naked mom. And that was a really interesting experience. And now I honestly don't like being naked that much. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up with a naked mom. Anyway, I love you guys, and I don't know. I'll just be like, I just want my friends to be able to come over. And why are you titties out? Okay? And why do you have important documents underneath them? I wanted to go on a cruise before I got a passport, and I said, Mom, can I have my birth certificate? Where is it? And she said, and then she said, oh, your sister's is on the left and yours is on the right. I said, what? What was that? What? She just went like this and flipped it, and then gave me my social security card too. I said, what? Or when she would be cooking, and she'd be cooking bacon, and I would just be hearing her, pop, 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 pop. And I said, I came in the kitchen, she'd be cooking the breakfast. I said, you are a soldier. It's so much right here. It's just popping. Are you okay? Like, do you need something? I would just go, like, what? Does this hurt? Or just at the dinner table. We're at dinner, having a dinner table, and she's just sitting there, and it's titties. And then she's reaching over, and I'm like, your nipples in the soup, okay? Can you get it? I'm exaggerating a little bit, okay? I'm exaggerating, but your nipples in my soup. Oops. You wouldn't have to flip them over your shoulder if you just put a shirt on. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go over to her house. I know she has a shirt on today because my grandfather's over, so she wears clothes more now. But before she didn't. I don't know. All right, y'all. I love you. Next time my mom comes live, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, she has a shirt on." She's gonna be like, "What are they talking about?" Nothing.